This review is made possible by Gerald Kia in Naperville. Gerald's outstanding staff is ready to find the perfect car for you. Whether it be new or used, your next car is waiting for you at Gerald Kia.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2022 Kia Stinger GT line. Up front is a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4 and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be driving this here Kia Stinger for two main reasons. First of all, this is my first 2022 model year vehicle on the channel, which is always super exciting to break into that new year. But the bigger and more important reason why I'm excited to drive this car today is because this is the first facelift that the Kia Stinger has received. It has new headlights, it has the new badges from Kia. This is the first vehicle I've reviewed with the new Kia logo, as well as a bunch of other little bits, mainly that 2.5 liter engine, which we'll get back to here in a second. So I'm super excited to actually go through Kia's first revision of the Stinger and see if they've improved it or if they've made it tremendously worse. So let's get back to that 2.5 liter inline 4. Well, it's actually from the Kia K5 we saw last year. The GT all-wheel drive Kia K5 got the 2.5 liter, and now the Kia Stinger gets the 2.5 liter at its base level. Of course, you still can get the 3.3 liter turbocharged V6 at the top of the line, the higher trim that's gonna make around 360 some horsepower. But as I'll put up on the screen, this engine makes around 300, which is phenomenal for a base model engine. I'm really excited to see Kia actually sort of giving more thought and effort towards the Stinger because I really do love this car. And I'm glad that it's finally getting a little bit of attention after a couple of years, especially with that engine. All right, 2.5 liter. It's quick. It definitely is quick, and the outgoing motor for the base model was a 2.0 liter, which made like 200 and some horsepower. It definitely packs a better punch than the old base model engine. However, it's not that full bore Kia Stinger kick that I loved in the GT2. The GT2 was the orange one with the carbon fiber and all that stuff. So if you want that hard Stinger punch, I'd highly recommend going with the larger engine. However, this is a way better base engine than the outgoing 2 liter. Paired to it is an 8-speed automatic transmission, and I like it. It's a good transmission. However, the Kia Sorento from 2021 gets an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, where this here Stinger actually does not. And I think right now was a good time that Kia could have introduced the dual clutch into the Stinger, because they're sort of refreshing the car. They refreshed the engine, they refreshed a bunch of other bits. Why not refresh the transmission and give it the 8-speed dual clutch? But alas, they didn't. This is not a dual clutch. Last but not least, this year's Stinger is all-wheel drive. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the interior. We have quite a bit to go through here in the new Stinger. Well, in front of me, I have the very typical Kia gauges. Pretty much every car in the lineup has used this. On the left is my tachometer and coolant temperature, and on the right is my speedometer and fuel. And then, of course, I get a little customizable gauge in the center. Right now, it's giving me my speed in digits, but I can cycle through a bunch of different things, which I'm showing here on screen. I wish that this screen was a little bit bigger. I wish it was a little bit more premium. However, when you go up the trim levels of the Stinger, you do get a larger screen, so I can't complain too much. This just isn't the top trim, so it doesn't get that feature. On the steering wheel, on the left, I have my voice commands, mode, mute, volume, skip track, favorites, and phone options. As well as on the right, I have my pages, adaptive cruise control settings, which is fantastic. This does get the adaptive cruise from Kia. As well as in the center, this is my first time really dealing with the new Kia logo, and I hate it. I really dislike the new Kia logo because it looks like K backwards N. K backwards N? I don't think that was the look they were going for, but it's what it looks like to me, and now I can't get it out of my head, and it will just always look like K backwards N, and I'm sorry if I ruined that image for you. However, on the back of the steering wheel, I do have paddle shifters, and this is the GT line steering wheel, so it has perforated leather and a flat bottom. To the left of me, I have my gauge dimmer switch, lane keep assist on and off, and my fuel door open. And then on the door, I have power windows, power locks, and power mirrors, of course, but I also have my Harman Kardon speakers. So this particular GT line Stinger has the Harman Kardon package, which I'm showing a picture of the window sticker now, so you know exactly what it's called. And I really love Harman Kardon systems. Harman Kardon is the same audio system you'll find in BMWs, which is very, very good. Moving into the center, I do have a nice touchscreen display, so let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk this infotainment screen because this is new for 2022. Did that rhyme? Sure. Okay, so let's go to my media, and first of all, I love the look of this layout. Whoops. Did not mean to hit the wipers. So the new Sorento gets these as well, but I love this sort of neon look of the buttons. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And it's definitely modern, and of course I love like 80s neon retro sort of look, and that definitely encompasses it. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which let me get set up for you. So once plugged in, it sort of actually changes the look, which is sort of interesting. Oop, let me fix this here a little bit, make it a little bit more centered. Thank you, Zach. So Apple CarPlay, sorry, let me unlock my phone to get it set up. Boom, there it is. Nice and wide, which I really, really like. And I do retain this sort of split screen, which is really interesting. I can keep like navigation or things of that sort over there. And of course I have my Kia right here, as well as my apps. Very, very fluid. This screen has very, very good refresh rate, very responsive. Look at that, to my finger, pretty much like your phone, and I absolutely love that. Getting back to the menu, a couple things I want to talk about here. I do have climate controls in here, which is interesting. I can actually dehumidify, ventilation. Those are really cool features. Valet mode, HD radio, media, sounds of nature, we'll get to in a second. User manual notifications, things like that. But let's get to the sounds of nature, baby. Let's see if they've added any sounds. We have lively forest, calm sea waves, rainy day, open air cafe, warm fireplace, and snowy village. Now this is very interesting. A lot of modern Kias are actually doing this. I'm not 100% sure the point of it. I couldn't really imagine myself driving home and instead of listening to my favorite music, just listening to someone walk through a snowy village, but I mean, I guess. Overall, I love this new infotainment screen. I think it really modernizes the car and is a huge, huge plus for the 2022 Stinger. Last but not least, let's throw it into reverse here. And I have my parking beepers. I love the fact that you can see the Stinger, as well as when I turn the steering wheel, it does adjust the lines as well, and I love that. I think all cars should do that, but not all do. So really, really love this infotainment screen. I think this is a really strong part of the Stinger and a huge reason to get a 2022 over a 2021. Down below the center display, we have our typical 3 climate control vents. This hasn't changed from the outgoing Stinger to this Stinger. And then I have a couple of interesting buttons, of course, for map, navigation, my favorite, hazard, radio, media, and setup, as well as tune on the far right, and volume on the far left. Then I do have my climate controls down below that. Nothing really too crazy here besides dual zone climate, which is very, very nice. And then I get a nice little cubby at the bottom, 12-volt outlet, USB, and a wireless charger. Now, my only issue here is the fact that I don't get a USB-C, because a lot of other Kia products and a lot of more modern cars are starting to adapt the USB-C chargers. This is a traditional USB, which is not the end of the world, but with the refresh, I would have liked to have seen that. The center console itself, of course, I have the shifter off to the left. Very typical Kia shifter, but I like it. Feels nice. And down below that, we have some interesting buttons. So I do have my power parking brake, of course. Then I have my auto holding brake. One of my favorite features, you press the brake a little bit extra hard and your vehicle won't move while you're still in drive. This is great for traffic or drive-throughs, things like that. Then I have my drive modes. So the Stinger has 5 different drive modes. For Smart, this is where it will sort of pick according to your driving style. Eco, Comfort, Sport, and Custom, which will give you your own adjustments. I like these drive modes. I love the fact that it has so many different drive modes, very customizable. However, I wish that there's a little bit more fanfare when you switch drive modes. I wish it lit up like a different color on the screen or showed you a stinger on the screen or something like that. I wish that it did a little bit more, but beggars can't be choosers. To the right of the drive mode button, I do have my traction control on and off. Then to the right of everything, I do have cup holders, so we'll do a big friggin' bottle test. And unfortunately, the Kia Stinger fails the big friggin' bottle test, which I sort of expected, but this is getting into a larger sedan, so it's a little disheartening. Then at the very bottom, I have a couple interesting buttons. So first of all, I have toggle switches for my heated seats. This is new for 2022. Not heated seats, but the toggle switch, which I think looks more refined and looks a lot better than the outgoing buttons. However, what upsets me about them is the fact that they only go down. You can only toggle them down. You can't toggle them back up. And it's the same thing I complained about with the Mustang GT. Those toggle switches only went down, not up. And I don't understand why. Just make them go both ways so then you could go back and forth. Now, if I have 3 and I want to turn them off, I have to hit it down 3 times, where if it went both ways, I could just hit it up once and they'd be back off. Just something for simplicity. Then to the right of that, I do have a heated steering wheel, which is very, very nice. And I have my camera button. Now, the camera button is only available when you're going slow speeds or stopped, but this lets me toggle my backup camera without putting the car actually into reverse. But we already talked about the backup camera with the center display, so it's nice that I can toggle that on command. And then of course I have my automatic start stop on and off, love that, and my toggle switch for my heated seats for the passenger on the far right. Center console, it doesn't have anything in it. Now we gotta talk about the seats. Now the seats had higher bolsters than I expected getting into this vehicle. They're very sporty seats, however, they're very comfortable and they are big guy friendly. They're not too sporty, however, they're definitely sportier than a Forte or a Kia Soul or anything of that sort. They do say GT line embossed on the headrest, which I do like. However, this isn't the full Kia Stinger GT2 or whatever, so GT line seems kind of gimmicky at that point. But speaking of seats, we do have back seats, so let's go do a back seat review. All right, so we're in the back of the 2022 Kia Stinger, and it's really, really good. Headroom, I got probably about an inch above my head, and I'm 5'11". That's really going to be the hardest part, but this is my driving position, and my knees are not hitting the front seat. Tons and tons of room back here, even for a bigger guy like me. You're not going to have any real space issues in the back of the Stinger. Down here, I do have 2 climate control vents, as well as a 12-volt outlet and a USB charger. It is a traditional USB, again, no USB-C. I do have a center console here I can pull down, 2 cup holders, and that's about it. I have a nice little light here, which is LED, which is always good to see. Some modern cars still have like the old yellowy interior lights, and it just makes it look dated, but this has LED from the factory, which is fantastic. So really, I give this back seat 2 thumbs up. Plenty of space, and that's one of the big advantages of a full-size sedan as opposed to a Forte or especially the Kia Rio. Let's go take a look at the trunk real quick, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so around the back of the 2022 Kia Stinger, I don't have a trunk popper on the key, unfortunately. However, this is sort of a hatch. I always forget that the Stinger is pretty much a hatch, which opens up a ton of space in here. Absolutely love that. Of course, these are the floor mats, the new Kia logo. However, we still have the original normal Kia logo on the bag itself, which is fine, whatever. I do have some tie downs up here as well as back here, and I can lift this up. I do not get a spare tire. However, I do get tools and such like that. So that is the trunk of the 2022 Kia Stinger. Now we got to talk about the looks. I really like the look of the Kia Stinger. Now, of course, like I said, they did update the headlights, and I get the new badges, and other small styling cues have been changed for this mid-cycle refresh. But I think overall the Kia Stinger has always looked good. I really like it in this white. It's sort of a more chill color as to where the last Stinger that I drove was a GT2 in the bright flaming orange. This is more reserved, and I really, really like that. So let's talk about my final thoughts on this here Kia Stinger, my first 2022 model year vehicle. Well, let's talk about the things that I don't like. I don't like that toggle switch for the heated seats like I mentioned. I feel like this was sort of an overlook. The other thing I don't like, as I mentioned earlier, is the 8-speed transmission. I wish it was a dual clutch. I don't understand why this doesn't get the dual clutch, but the Sorento does. A little bit odd, and I feel like Kia missed the mark a little bit by not including it with the mid-cycle refresh of the Stinger. However, those are my really only 2 complaints. I really like the way that this drives, and I don't know what it is, but this car just feels a lot nicer, and at the end of the day, it feels a lot more refined than the first Stinger that I drove. To me, this really feels like the director's cut of the Stinger. This isn't something totally new. It's not that far off from the first year Stinger. However, there are just some small differences that really improved it. The interior feel is a lot nicer than the outgoing Stinger. The 2.5 liter is a tremendously better engine than the 2.0 liter in the outgoing Stinger. I like the seats, I like the feel, I like the infotainment. I love the new infotainment screen. That is a huge game changer for me. Here's the old Kia Stinger screen, and here's the new one. You can see the differences, and I love that. Makes it feel a lot more modern. And so that's it. This is the director's cut of the Kia Stinger. This isn't a full refresh, and I'm excited to see what Kia does when they finally do announce the second-gen Kia Stinger, which, since they just refreshed this one, probably won't be for a few more years. But I think they really improved it with this refresh. I think this is dramatically better than the outgoing car, and that makes me really happy because Kia has been on this up and up and up for the last couple of years. The Sorento got a huge upgrade. The Optima got a huge upgrade to the K5. Now the Sedona got a huge upgrade to the Carnival. Kia has really been on the upswing, and I'm excited to say that the Stinger is on that upswing as well. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Gerald Kia for letting me take out their brand new 2022 Kia Stinger. This thing is awesome. Gerald Kia is awesome. They have tons of these on the lot ready for you to pick up, as well as they have the new Carnival. They have the new Sorrentos. They have the new K5s. They have Kia Souls with turbos. They have Kia Fortes in manual. They have tons of vehicles for you to choose from. If you're interested in a new Kia product, Gerald Kia of Naperville should be your one-stop shop to get it all done. They're absolutely fantastic, and their staff is even better. So please go check them out. Their information is up on the screen, as well as linked in the description below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.